Hi, happy Tuesday everybody. Hope you're all okay. Hope everyone's well. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. I just got drenched. Absolutely, the heavens opened. It's blue sky again now. It was just like, and gone. Literally just as I was coming out the shop. So yeah, completely soaked. Sorry, I'm just picking up pins I've just dropped. Sorry. Stabbing poor Dave with them. Hopefully you're all okay. Thank you to everybody who joined us in the birthday celebrations this weekend. Yeah, the weekend just gone. Still can't believe we're 7. Still can't believe I've been doing this nonsense for this long. We've been incredibly busy this morning, making sure that all your orders have been done now. So they're ready to be picked up in a bit. And now we're going through the auction items and bagging all those up. So if you have, check whether you've had an email from us. There was I had to email or messenger about 37 different people. There are a few people that haven't paid yet. So if you could check whether you've had an email and then give us a call to pay, that would be brilliant. Sarah will be in Sarah's in the shop now, but I'll be back over there in a bit. Let's say hello to some people first of all. So hi Kate, hi Jean, hi Anne, hi Carol, hi Jill, hi Heather, Freddie, Carolyn, Claire, Carolyn. Oh, lots and lots of you. Hello, my darlings. Jill, hello, lovelies. So hi Grace, hello, darling. So yeah, it was a bit of a crazy weekend. Lots of fun though. Saturday's always a little chaotic when we do an auction, but it was good fun. We did have a laugh, which was nice. Yeah, I have emailed everybody. Most people have paid, but there are a few that haven't. So if you could give us a call and then we can get your item. If you won an item, we can get it out for you. What else? Lots of you took advantage of the £7 off as well. So they've all now been packaged up. So they'll be going off this afternoon. Keep an eye out for next week. We're going to be doing another little sale next week, okay? So on yarn. So if you're a crocheter or a knitter, there is going to be a big yarn sale next week. So keep an eye out on that, okay? We've got the retreat this weekend. So we'll be away. The shop will be shut Friday, Saturday because we will be going Friday morning. And then hi from Tenerife. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm not jealous in the slightest. Hope you're having a lush time. And then we've got Haydock the following week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, there will be a yarn sale. Okay, so keep an eye on the socials for that announcement. What else was I going to tell you? There was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, the Liberty Emily Bell log cabin quilt kit. I'm cutting them tomorrow. Okay, so if you did want one, I've put them back on the website now because they came off the website because of the £7 off sale. I couldn't afford to do them. It was £7 off, I'm afraid. So they came off for that, but they're back on now. So if you wanted one of those kits, you've got till basically tomorrow morning to order it, okay? And then I'm cutting them all tomorrow, all right? So having a sewing binge with Freddie Gathering for 3 days. Ah, nice. That's a good plan. I think Sarah and I are actually going to do that charity thing as well. We're going to do a charity sew-along, do like a 24-hour sew-along, finish all your projects. So we're going to put some plans in place for that. So yes. Right. What are we doing today? What am I doing? Itsy bitsy bag. We're going to do a little itsy bitsy bag today. This was the subscription box pattern from not this month, last month's. So I thought I'd go through some of the elements. So if you did have the subscription box, you will already have this pattern. I will put this pattern on our website as well. Okay, there are quite a few pieces for cutting out. So I'll go through it, but you might need the pattern for this one. So I'll put it on the website, okay? So more talking than sewing. Well, that's good. That's fun it's nice to have someone to craft with though, isn't it? Makes you feel more like you're actually doing something. So it does for me anyway. When I'm just sat here by myself sewing, it's a bit like, it's nice to have someone there to keep on. So we're going to come over to the overhead. Hopefully we're over here. Now I think the cameras are all working. Let me know if not. Josh did a zombie role-playing thing streaming the other day with his mates on Sunday night. So he used all the cameras. So if they're not working, shout me, okay, guys? Hi, Cheryl. So this is what we're going to make. We're going to make one of these little teeny tiny little bags. Okay, so it's got magnetic clasp, and then you've got in here, you've got a little bit like that, and then you've put a cam snap in the middle as well. So you've got a little pocket there too. So it makes this really cute little bag, which I think would be brilliant for like, well, I just think it would be really cute. You can actually get, I got my phone in there. My phone did actually go in there. Get your lippy in there. But it would be really good for like taking, you could clip it onto your belt and whatever. You could stick your like dog poo bags in there and your treats if you're a dog walker. If you're a crafter, oh my God, see, I'm terrible with my threads. I never get rid of my threads. If you're a crafter, you could keep like a little travel project, you know, like your EPP or something in there, or your binding clips and stuff. You know, there's lots and lots of little uses. Really cute for like a little one maybe. You could fill it with like little treats. You could fill it with gold coins and maybe a little present or something. You know, it's a really sweet little bag. I was really pleased with this one. It comes up, what size is it roughly? Comes up about 5 inches by 3 by 5, you know, so but there's lots of little different techniques in here, so I thought we'd have a go at one of these today. Hi Tarian, you recognise that fabric? I know, I'm determined to use every last little scrap of it that I've got. It's the best fabric in the world, look, and then I've got that one on the inside. Every last little scrap I'm using up with this. You need 2 fat quarters, although you don't really need a whole fat quarter. You could do this out of scraps. You can see I've got that amount left over from my fat quarters. So you might actually be able to get it out of fat 8s if you're really careful, or definitely out of scraps. Hi Natalie. Gonna watch live whilst on break from work. Need a little sew-in fix after having morning of immigration law. Oh yeah, that sounds lovely. I love it. Yeah, I love a little teeny bag, Claire, too. So this is what we're going to do, okay? Now, I've already prepped some of it, otherwise we'd be here for 2 hours, all right? It's a relatively quick make, but I did need to prep some of it, otherwise we would be a very long time. So fabric requirements, you're going to need 2 fat quarters, okay? 1 for the outer, 1 for the lining. You want some fusible fleece. It doesn't have to be fusible. If you've got a scrap of wadding, you can just spray baste it, that's fine. You need a little bit of interfacing, and then you need a magnetic clasp or a cam snap, or a popper, just something to close it. You might decide you want to put a buttonhole there. I've had some of these, so I've used a magnetic one. And then you need a little bit of bias binding. I've made my own to match the bag, okay, to match this second one that I'm doing. From your outer fabric, so I'm using this beautiful Renew for this little sample. From your outer fabric, you want 8 1/4 by 11 1/4. You want, in fact, I'm going to put this here and then you can pause it. I'm going to read through it quite quickly, but you can pause it and look at it. But if not, I'll put the pattern on the website for you. You want a 5 3/4 by 7. You need a 4 1/2 by 3 3/4, and you want a 1 3/4 by 5 3/4 from your outer. From your lining, you want an 8 1/4 and an 11 1/4. You want a 5 3/4 by 7 and a 4 1/2 by 3 3/4. And from your fusible fleece wadding, 7 1/2 by 10 1/2. And then your interfacing, you want a 5 by 6 1/4 and 2 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Okay, so hi Patricia, hi Melba, hello my darlings. Right, first thing you're going to do is from your fusible fleece, okay, like I said, I've had to prep a few of the steps because otherwise we would be here for a very long time. Hopefully you can see this. My fusible fleece, I've measured down my long edge 4 inches and measured up 4 inches. I measured in 1 3/4, 1 3/4 and cut out. Can you see there? I've cut out the fusible fleece. I've done exactly the same on that side. Okay, so I've got these little notches in the fleece. I then fused it or spray based it to my outer fabric. Okay, I've put that right sides together with my lining rectangle, like that. Line it all up. And then we're just going to cut out the notches from the fabric as well. So I found if you did them together, it's a lot easier. You can measure this. You want it to be about 3/8 of an inch, okay? But it really doesn't matter. I'm winging it, okay? I'm just cutting it out like that, okay? You can, like I said, measure if you want, but you really don't have to. Okay, like that, like that. and then, and there we go, like that. Okay, so you're going to prep that piece ready, all right, and then that's just pop that aside for later. The next thing you want to do is you want to get your little 4.5 by 3.5 rectangles, and you're going to fuse your interfacing onto the back of both of them. All right, this is going to make the flap. What I did then was I folded them in half like that, and then I put them together because you get a matching curve then. Folded them in half, and then I used a mug on there just to curve it off. You don't have to curve this. I like it curved, but it doesn't have to be. But I just drew a line around the cup and curved it off. Okay, so you end up, these are going to be your flap pieces like this. All right. With the lining, so the rainbows is my lining. I then measured up 1 inch from the bottom. So kept that centre like that and measured up 1 inch, okay? And we're going to add the first bit of the magnetic clasp. So how is everybody? How are you all doing? Everybody okay? Right, where I need that one and I need that one. So I'm going to use one of the little washers. I'm going to centre that over the dot that I've marked, and we're going to mark in the sides of the washers, okay? I'm going to use one of my a seam ripper. Now, if you don't like doing this, if you don't feel brave enough, you can make a little snip with some, sharp scissors, but just gently make a little hole. Okay, like that. Make a little hole. There we go. And you're going to put the first half of your clasp in through, like that. Pop the washer on the back, and then press it in. Now, I struggle with this a little bit, so I tend to use my something flat, basically scissors or something, just to push in that clasp. Okay, so that bit of the clasp is now in. Where's the other washer gone? Oh, I nearly lost the washer. Let me put that there out the way. Okay, so we're going to put these right sides together. Sorry, we're going to put these wrong sides together. Okay, because I'm going to bind the edge of this just to give it a little bit of a different finish. And we're going to pop that in like that. And I'm just going to stitch around right, like 1/8 of an inch right round there, just like a tacking stitch to hold it all together. So, Jean, what was that, darling? You're good. You went to an upcycling workshop at your local library last night. Oh, nice. What was that like? What did you do? Tell us more. I did see, oh, hang on. Are we over here now? Hopefully we're over here. Yeah, like I said, I'm just going to do a tacking stitch all the way around just to hold them together. The lovely Anne sent me a picture of what she was up to at the weekend. She went to a willow weaving class and made the most amazing basket. It was really, really lovely. What did you make, Jean? Let me know. What about anybody else? Have any of you been doing anything interesting, making anything? Been busy. I was really busy yesterday writing patterns ready for the retreat, and for Chanda or Crate and Craft, whatever it is. Okay, so come back over here. You made a pumpkin needle cushion and zip bag. Oh, nice. That sounds cool. Okay, so I've just tacked those together. You need a little bit of bias binding. You need about 12 inches of bias. Okay. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to start this right sides together. I'm going to start it on the line. Did I do it on the lining last time, or did I do it the other way? I can't remember now. Did it that way, didn't I? Yes, I did it that way. Start it on the front because I wanted that neat. Like that. And you want it to be biased so that we can stretch it around those curves. Okay. So now I'm going to stitch it down on edge of foot all the way round there, but not the top. Okay, you don't need to do the top, we're just doing the curve. What was that? You used material that was scraps from a soft finisher mix. Oh, fab. Oh, I like that. Isn't that cool? It's a nice idea, lovely. Right, sorry, I've just realised I've got my 1/4 inch foot on. I'm just going to swap that over. Like that. Nope, missed. Here we go. Cool. Natty, you've joined your village craft club and enjoy meeting some lovely crafty ladies on a Monday evening. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice way of, get to know people as well, isn't it, when you've moved to a new area. Next week you're making tote bags from old jeans. Brilliant. Loving a bit of upcycling. So I'm doing, hang on, let me just get this right. I'm doing this as edge of foot, okay? So just lock off the stitch to start with. And then just take a few stitches. It's nice and straight to start with. There we go. And now I can start just edging this round. So I'm going to take a couple of stitches. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And just keeping that this edge here on the edge of the foot. That's what I'm trying to concentrate on, is just stretching this round to get a nice curve, and just taking 2 or 3 stitches at a time. If you find that the magnetic button is getting in your way, put your zipper foot on at this point, because you haven't got all this bulk here then, and you can get round a little bit easier. But hopefully you should be fine. Right, that's a nice little straight bit so I can go fast. Oh, there we go. Okay, nearly there. Round we go. So this is kind of the slightly awkward bit. It's not too awkward. It's just adding that in. There's probably easier ways to do it. This is how I do it. Here we go. Okay, like that. And come back over here. So I've just added on that little piece there, okay? So that little bit of binding. You can then, if you want to, clip into these curves if you want to. Okay, you don't really need to though, but if you want to do it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to shove all this to the back. So fold it over like that. We're going to give it a good iron, and then we're going to top stitch it. So bring this over. What's that, lovely? Hi everybody, sorry you're late today. Oh, that's all right, lovely. Thank you for joining us. And Jean, what you said, the local library's got a couple of sewing machines people can come into the library and use. That's a lovely idea, isn't it? You know, if you've got an old one you want to donate, maybe donate it to your local library, or see if you've got a local craft club or anything. Give this a nice press now to get that nice and neat on the front, like that. Take it round that side, like that. Okay. Now you could do a contrast bias if you wanted to. I wanted it all to sort of blend in. Okay. Once I've done it like that, then we can turn it over and turn under that raw edge like that. Oh, let's get a bit more under that one. Come on. There we go. Okay, so did any of you have any trick-or-treaters last night? I forgot it was Halloween, to be honest, and we never have trick-or-treaters around here. Like the last 3 or 4 years, I've bought sweets and all for the trick-or-treaters, and we didn't get anybody turn up. So this year I didn't bother, and then I kind of forgot it was Halloween because we were working, and mine are a bit old for it now, you know. And we had like 4 or 5 little ones turn up, and I felt really awful then because I had no sweets for them. I had nothing in the house. There we go. So I've just turned that bias under like that, and then we're going to top stitch all the way around. So I'm just going to come sort of about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. You could, if you wanted to, in fact I might do it from this side, you could do it from this side if you wanted to, stitch in the ditch round there if you want. If you don't want to see, make sure your stitching is nice and neat. But for time and element, I'm going to go round that raw edge. What's that, Cheryl? You have old jeans going back to when your son was a toddler. He's 23 now. The plan was to make a denim quilt, just never started. Oh, get the Charming Circle ruler and do it with that, lovely. The June Taylor one. It's I've seen a few done with that, and it's brilliant. It looks really good with the charm pack in old denim. Right, so we're just going to top stitch all the way around the edge of that binding. I'm just going a weeny bit slow and controlling it round, trying to keep it as neat as possible. There we go, just round we go. Okay, now this is where I should probably have used the zipper foot, because I can just get past that magnetic button with that foot. There we go, nearly there. So yeah, so Sara and I have been talking about doing this charity finish all your projects thing. We were saying it'd be quite nice because on the Facebook you can do shared lives, which means that you guys could come and join us. You could pop in for an hour or half, 10 minutes even. There we go. So I've gone around that one. I've asked if they can get a long arm quilting machine. I don't think they'll manage that. Yeah, it's a bit of a big ask, lovely. Oh, I missed your other comment, lovely. What's that, Natalie? Craft Club arranged a ghost trail around the village and there was an unwritten rule that there was no ghost or pumpkin. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I thought that was kind of the rule in this country. If you didn't put anything out, then nobody knocked, but obviously it didn't work here. What you're going to do now is you're just going to snip off that excess there. Okay, so you've got your flap all nicely bound with that magnetic, first half of the magnetic clasp in. And now I need to check the next bit of the pattern because it's a while since I wrote this one, so I've got to remember what I'm doing. Gotta remember what I'm doing. Right, handle. So, made the handle already. It's just a little strip of fabric, 1 3/4 by 5, and our usual fold into the centre, etc., etc. Okay, and then top stitch down. So nice and simple. I prepped that ready. Now what we want to do is we want to grab this little bit here. So this is the outer rectangle. That's the bit you want. So that's the lining piece. I want my outer. Okay, and I want to make sure that the top is the right way around. So I've got directional fabric, so that's going to end up like that. So I want this that way, not the other way, otherwise everything could have been upside down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure down, so I'm going to find the centre, we're going to fold this in half like that, just find that centre there, and then measure down 1 3/4. So there's my ruler, there we go, measure down 1 3/4 on that centre point there. Okay, and we're going to put the other half of the magnetic clasp just there. Hi Carol, hello, you're too early, you've got to tune in. Oh, disgraceful behaviour, how very dare you. Hope you have something nice for lunch. I am ravenous. I've got to have breakfast, so you set an alarm on your phone. Oh, I'm missing lots of comments, guys, sorry. If you don't ask, you don't get, absolutely. You've not heard of that, take a look. Trying to get funding to create a craft hub so people can come and use. Yeah, that's a really nice idea. Try things like National Lottery, Jean. You can always apply to places like that because they because crafting is like good for socialising and mental health and everything. Very often you can get a grant for things like that as well. There we go. Try local supermarkets as well. So very often, like Asda and Tesco's around by us, they have community funds. So I've done exactly like we did with the flap, made the holes. I'm going to push this through like that. This goes on the back like that. That pin can come out now. Yeah, a lot of like the big supermarkets definitely have community fund money. So I know there's one here down here where Asda have sponsored them and given them some money towards equipment and stuff. So you could always try that. So sorry, I'm trying to watch your comments at the same time, lovely. So added that little piece in there. Well, I cut that a bit skew-whiff, didn't I? It won't matter. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the handle on. So sorry, I'm having to keep up with the pattern because I can't remember all the measurements. So from that 1 inch, from that centre point there, we're going to measure out 1 inch. So I'm using my mat. So there's my centre point against, I'm going to measure 1 inch that way and 1 inch that way, like that. And then we're going to add in, no I'm not, flip it round, Seth. Flip it round. I was going to say the handle doesn't come off there, the handle comes off the back. There we go. Right, so on the bottom, the opposite side of the clasp, find your 1 inch mark there and your 1 inch mark there. So I'm on the bottom, so this will come up over the back. And then we're going to add in that there, okay? So we're going to add in there to there. All right, so making sure it's not twisted, pop a pin in, and we're just going to put a couple of little tack-in stitches in there just to hold that handle. It doesn't necessarily need the handle, but I think it looks cute, so why not? So I'm just going to tack that into place now, okay? So we're going to go back over here. So I'm trying to keep up with all your comments as well, and I they're going too fast. So I'm missing some, I think, guys. Here we go, right on there. So I'm just adding in a couple of little stitches just to hold it in place so I don't have to have any pins. Oh, caught on a pin. There we go. Okey-doke. That's now going to be, let the flat. Okay, so 2 seconds. Sorry, I've got to read the pattern as I go. Done that. Laid the flap with the magnet over the handle. That's it. So now this one is going to go in here as well. So this is your flap and it's going to go off the handle. And I want it so that the magnet is face up. That's it. So it does that. There we go. So again, find that center point, line up the center like that. One pin there and another pin there. And again, I'm going to baste that into place. Okay. You'll have to re-watch a bit later. That's all right, darling. Oh, you've managed to get... Linda's been in the shop this morning. I didn't realise she'd gone home. There we go. Right. Add a little line of stitching just to baste that in place. And I'm doing it about 1/8 of an inch so it won't show later. Okay. And over we go. So that's now all basted in place. That's going to eventually flip over like that. You can see that you've got the top there and your handle sandwiched in, and then this is over here. Okay, before we start putting it all together, we need to make the little internal pocket, which is this little bit here. Okay, we're going to make that little pocket there. So pop that aside, and you need this here. Okay, so I've got my last little piece of interface in there and I folded it up in half. I've measured in 3/4 of an inch like that, and then drawn a line down to the corner. Okay, so basically we're going to be like cutting off these corner bits. You're going to then trim it off, right? So you're going to trim off along there, along that line there and there. Okay, I am trying to keep an eye on lovelies, like that. Right, I've got to keep an eye on the pattern with this one. I've got to remember which way around I'm doing it. So we're going to fuse this. Ooh, something's just come through the door. Fuse this to this one here. Okay, so this is the outer fabric again, and I'm going to fuse that in the middle. All right, so we're just going to pop the iron on that and fuse it. And then we're going to cut it all out. Like that. Okay. Here we go. Oh no. Oh, why is that not fusing? Hang on, guys. Sorry. My interfacing was quite old. I didn't want to go out yesterday back over the shop. I'd already been over once. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go back over. And so I found a little bit. I think it's a bit old and the glue is a bit... There we go. That's better. I'm going to do like we did the flap. So we're going to put them right sides together with the lining like that, and we're going to trim off any of that excess. Okay, so I'm going to use the interfacing as a guide, and I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So there, lining it up, the 1/4 inch on the interfacing there like that. Ooh, don't move your back bag, get back in place. There we go. There we go, that one there, and nearly there, and then that piece there. Okay, so I'm just giving myself that seam allowance. So you're using the interfacing to make the shape. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to stitch the 2 short ends. So edge of foot, this edge and this edge. Okay, so back over here. So has anybody started their Christmas makes yet? Have you all started your Christmas makes? I've tried to do some, but I've been so busy the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months really. It's just been non-stop. So I have no chance. So I've got the right sides together with the lining, done that short edge, and then over onto this side. I think the stocking is the only thing I've made, and that's because I made it for the 1 o'clock, and I'm going to give it to little man for Christmas. Well, you know, he'll have his Christmas presents in it. So there we go. Okay, so I've stitched that top and bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to flip it through like that, turn right side out like that. Come on. And I'm just going to finger press that seam and then make sure that seam's right on that very edge. Oh, excuse me. You see I kind of roll in that to make sure that's right on the edge there. And then same this side. There we go. So, come on. That's it. That's better. It didn't want to roll then. I'm going to... You've started one so far, fair enough. I really wanted to do more handmade stuff this year, but nah, I've no chance. Okay, so stitch those top edges. You could top stitch. We'll top stitch it. So just top stitch those edges as well. Okay, you don't have to, but I think it's worth it on just to finish it off nicely. So again, you could use nice contrasting thread or something. Top stitch that edge there, and then you're going to finish arguing with unicorn before started on Christmas presents. Going to finish arguing with a unicorn? You've got a pet unicorn, Natalie. What's going on? There we go. Okay, so top stitched like that. Okay. What I'm going to do now is just fold that in half. There to there, like that. Give it a quick press, just to have a nice sharp crease, and then I'm just going to clip it just to hold it in. Okay, so this is the inner pocket, like that. Okay, right, all the bits are now assembled, and we're going to start putting it together. I want to know what you mean by arguing with unicorn. What's going on, Natalie? Right, okay, now I need to make sure I get this in the right order. So I've got my outer rectangle with your flap and your handle attached, right sides up. And then you're going to place your lining fabric right sides down, like that, and cover it all up. Like that. Okay. Get that all lined up correctly, like that. On the edge with the flap and handle, mark a 4-inch gap. So first things first, let's pop a couple of pins in, hold this in place. You don't need many because it is only little. Like that. There we go. And like that. So where this is here, where the handle is and the flap, okay, you want a 4-inch gap. So again, I tend to use the markings here on my mat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So that's my centre. I'm going to go a couple of inches that way, a couple of inches that way, and you want a 4-inch gap here. Okay. You're going to stitch across just the short edges. Okay. So we're going to stitch from here to here, and then there, leaving that bit open, and we're going to stitch all the way down that one. All right, so it's just the short edges to start with. Just checking. Any gap? Yes, it is. It's been a while since I made one. Yeah. Think a pet unicorn would be easier than the fleece unicorn you've been making since the beginning of October. Oh, definitely need some pictures, lovely. Definitely need some pictures. You're planning on making gift bags and not use wrap this year. That's a nice idea. That's a really lovely idea, Han. It's you know, makes a difference to the environment. It means they can reuse them as well. So going to that point and back stitching. Okay, and then I'm going to leave a biggish gap like that. Make sure I lock off. But a pet unicorn would leave sparkly poop everywhere. Don't start a pet unicorn because Sarah Jane would want one. She really would. And if it was a pet unicorn that had glitter poop, she definitely would. And then I'm going to flip it round, and on this side, it's just all the way along, okay? Again, everything's edge of foot, so 3/8 of an inch. There we go, all the way down like that. And back over we go. There we go. So I'm going to open the bag out now, like that, so that these seams are now in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that out, so between the lining and the outer fabric, and manipulate it until those seams are in the middle, like that. Okay, just pop a pin in just to hold it in place for a second, and then the same on this bit here. So I'm just matching up those seams, making sure that seams go one way, like that. Pop a pin in. Oh no, I've done it wrong that side. There we go. Come on. Ignore me, seams all to the lining. That's what they want to do, like that. Okay. Make sure that that's all lined up nicely, and it is. Now we're going to put this internal pocket in. Okay. So this is going to go in the lining side. So this rainbow is my lining side. Okay. We're going to attach this in. Now it's going to look like it does not fit. Okay. But there's method in this, all right? It's supposed to be smaller than this. So, first things, we're going to measure down about 3/8 of an inch, okay? So down here, so 1, 2, 3 is there, okay? It's just there on mine, on my mat. And this is going to slide in. So I've got the seam there. There's 3/8 is between that one and that one, like that. And I'm going to line this, right, this is the slightly tricky bit with this little bag, okay? I want this to be in line with the edge of the fabric, okay? And it's going to be, there's the seam there, 3/8 of an inch down, like that, okay? Pop that bit down like that, sandwich that in, and either clip or pin in place, whatever you've got to hand. I'm going to clip this one for now. Okay, so I've got all those raw edges together. You're going to be like, but the pocket's over here. What's going on? But this is how it should be, I promise. Okay, you're going to sew down just this side of the bag. So I'm going to start from up here and sew all the way down to here. Obviously, don't sew into your corners. All right, just this side first. There we go. So over we go. And off we go. All the way down. Get rid of that clip now. And lock stitch off. Oh, what would be your, I mean, mine would be a dog, but, which is very, very boring, but what would be your, like, perfect pet? And, any animal, fantasy animal, anything, it doesn't have to be a real animal. What would it be? What would you have? So, hi there, I've just finished your 2 double leaf applique cushions. Ah, oh, lovely, fantastic. There we go, so I've stitched around that one there, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the other side now. But what you want to do is you want to open up your bag and find this pocket, okay? Like that. And you're going to pull it. And you'll be thinking, what's going on? But you're going to put it like that and line up those edges, all right? Don't worry that this is all like this. It's supposed to be, all right? Like that. Line up all those edges again. Like that. Oh, come here. Put a clip there. Line up all those edges, and it's going to feel really odd. I'm 3/8 of an inch down again, just like the other side. Like that. It's going to look really like strange and puckered, but it's as it should be. And then we're going to stitch all the way down there. You'd like a friendly dragon. Oh, Sarah, I'm sure would like a friendly dragon and a unicorn. In fact, if she could have both, she'd be very happy. But definitely a dragon. See, I would still, I don't know, mind you, I might. What's the what are those ones in Harry Potter that fly? Buckbeak. I'd quite like that. That'd be quite useful, wouldn't it? Having my own flying transport. That would be quite good. We've just started watching House of Dragons on whatever it is, Sky or whatever. And they are definitely not friendly dragons. They are proper fire-breathing, I'm going to eat you dragons. But yeah, nice little friendly dragon would be cute, wouldn't it? There we go. So I've stitched all the way down that one as well. Like a pet sheep. Ah, oh, yeah, cute. I quite like a sheep. There we go. So, stitch that one. That's correct. Now we're going to box the corners. Just had to double check. So, let me get rid of that pin there. And what we're going to do now is on all four corners, we're going to find those little boxed bits and stitch them in place, making sure you're not catching anything, okay, when you stitch it. So we're going to box that corner there and box that one there. You've just noticed when your leaf is upside down, you're going to have to unpick the stitches. Oh dear. Just to think of the money you could save on flights. I know, Jean, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I'd like that. I'd fancy some, you know, or a Pegasus or something, you know. If I can go any fantasy animal, something that would get me on holiday quickly, or not even on holiday, just the fact I didn't, mind you, I just need a Google self-driving car. That would be good, wouldn't it? It's, you know, the amount of times I spend driving and travelling where actually when I could be doing stuff, something that got me there sensibly. That would be nice. So just boxing the corners now. So there's my first one. There you go. Could it be a leaf that's fallen from a tree? Yeah, you could just do that. Don't unpick it. Nothing's perfect, lovely. And I'm going around all of these corners. So just like that. Ooh, that's not enough. There we go. Again, just edge of foot. Everything's edge of foot on this one. Done. And then I've got the other two, the other side, which this bit here. So I'm just going to open that up and box that one. I'm boxing all four, okay? Making sure you backstitch on each bit too. There we go. Come on. Nearly there. Last one. And then the bag's nearly done. We've just got to turn it through. So, find this last... Oh, come on. I can't find this seam. Where is it gone? There it is. Come here. There we go. Last little one just there. So I'm very much looking forward to the retreat, actually. It's going to be lovely to see so many of you again, which will be really nice. And we've got lots of exciting things happening, which is good. Keep everyone entertained. Okay, so back over here, guys. And then what I've done is, ooh, that is not sticking. Again, it was a bit old. I'm gonna give it a little blast just to stick it. There we go. It'll be fine once I've pushed it all through. So I've boxed all four corners. Okay, those pins can now come out. There we go. And then you're going to find the gap that you left. Where is it? Here. Remember, we left a gap by the flap, and it's time to birth that bag. Can you ask a question? What software are you using to get different camera screens? Sorry to have asked. That's fine, lovely. We use OBS, which is it's a free one. It's not without its faults, as the ladies will tell you. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but yeah, have a look at OBS. That's the one that we do. Yeah, use. It's once you've got your head around it, it is pretty easy to use. But I'm very lucky. I've got very tech savvy kids, so. Although I did set it all back up by myself this time, because Josh had been using it. It was none of the cameras were on the right bit, so I did it all by myself. So as you can see now, I'm pushing it all through like that. Okay, there's that internal pocket. That's going to go on the inside like that, and it suddenly goes from looking like nothing to looking like a little bag. There we go. Push all that inside. Give that a, then you want to roll that And then what I would do now is I would now top stitch. I'm not going to do it now, okay, because I want to hand stitch this closed. So there's the gap there at the flap, okay. I'm going to just fold that under. You wish you could have been at the November retreat. Ah, I know, Jean, it would have been lovely to see you, darling, but we'll see you in April. Sorry, I'm trying to do this so you can see this. So I'm just folding that over like that, giving that a press. And then I'm going to hand stitch that in, okay? I'm going to hand stitch that closed. You've got the little bit there all done. And I'm going to top stitch around. I want to hand stitch before I top stitch it. And you can see now you've got that lovely little bag all done with the clasp there, like that, okay? Hold also, it's like a little rucksack, isn't it? I really like it. Like that, all done. But you could then add a popper onto here if you wanted to. I used a cam snap on my little one here, okay? Give it a good press. Like I said, I won't do the top stitching because I want to hand stitch it. Top stitch then all the way around, okay? You can see on this one here, I've top stitched all the way along there, all the way around that centre bit. Obviously make sure that when you're top stitching that I top stitched it with that way on the machine so that I could see and make sure this was all out of the way, all the way around like that. If you wanted to, you could put a little stitch in there, but I actually quite like the fact I can open it right up. And there we go. So lots of little bits to make, and then it suddenly comes together really quickly. You could make it into a mini rucksack with shoulder straps. You could. Yes, we could. Jill, have we got dinosaur fabric? Come in out of our ear rolls. We've got dinosaur fabric. All the dinosaur fabrics come in. We've got some amazing glow-in-the-dark dinosaur fabric, which I think, don't think we've shown you actually, but actually come back over here. So that's your little itsy bitsy bag. Really cute little project, nice and easy to do. I will put the pattern on the website for those of you who want to have a little go at it. If you had our subscription box last month, it'll be on there anyway. You'll already have it because it was the project. But yeah, I just thought they were really cute. You could keep all sorts in those, couldn't you? You know, if you've got to take pills and all through the day, you could keep them in there, you know, all sorts of little bits and pieces, but they are very sweet, very happy with those. What was I going to say? So the pattern will go on the website for that. Jill, yeah, dinosaur fabric, we have definitely got quite a lot in at the moment, lots of different ones. There's a new Lewis and Irene dinosaur fabric, which is glow in the dark, which is so cool. It's got like dinosaur prints and dinosaurs which glow in the dark on it. So when it's light, they're just like this lovely pearly white, but then in the dark, they shine nicely. So that's everything for today. You fancy making two for twins? Ah, yeah, cute. Oh, come in the shop, lovely. Come in the shop and have a little look for some dinosaur fabric. We've got girl dinosaur fabric as well, because girls like dinosaurs too. Not just boys. It's not all just like, you know, really grungy colours. There's some cute dinosaurs. And I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Block of the Week. Just realised what the time is. I've got to get a wiggle on. And then Sarah will be back on Thursday. So take care, guys. See you real soon. Bye.